Good morning, everybody. This is your boy D Mac. Hey, let's talk. So, I was just looking at the playoff picture, and I've been hearing so many different names thrown out there to have the focus shined on these guys, and they are doing a great job, and they are deserving of the acknowledgement that they're getting. But I want to really bring some attention to the role players. We have our stars out there like Embiid, we have Jokic out there, and there are other many names of some great stars in the league. But I want to shed a little bit of light on the role players because as we wind down and get closer to the finals, we're starting to see that, like I said in the beginning, depth on your bench and having those important role players to come in and score when you really need a moment to get something going and get some momentum going is very crucial in who's going to become the champion. And also, health is going to come into play. So, staying healthy, the healthiest team is the team that's going to be the champion this year, not the best team necessarily. So, I just wrote a list of different role players over the years, and I want to kind of give these guys their flowers right now. You know what I'm saying? Because this is exactly what it's going to take for the next champion. So, I'll just start with Jason Terry. Jason Terry played for the Dallas Mavericks. He played with Dirk Nowitzki and those guys, and they had a good run. Because why? Because Jason Terry was a role player. Everybody knew Dirk Nowitzki was the guy, but Jason Terry, he played his role. He did what was necessary, and those guys got them a championship in 2011 out of it. Another one, and this one bugged me out. I didn't even know this, but Pat Riley. Yeah, Coach Pat Riley. He used to play for the Lakers back in the day. He played with Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain. And that dude was a role player. You know you're not gonna get to shine over Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West. Come on. So, he played his role. That guy didn't come in there. He didn't come in there trying to be something that he wasn't, wanting to be the star and give me the ball all the time. He came in there, played his role. They won some championships, and he went on to become one of the greatest coaches of all times in basketball history, arguably. So my next my next option, I hesitated, but I got to give it to him. Kendrick Perkins, Big Perk. Hey, Perk was a dominating force when he played for the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? They got them a championship back in 2008, and Perk was a major part of that. Well, was Perk the guy? No, but Perk played his part, and he helped them to win a championship. Bill Cartwright. That's another one. Bulls, 91, 92, and 93 champions. And he was a crucial part in that. You heard Scotty's name and you heard Michael's name and you heard Dennis Rodman's name. All of these guys are polarizing figures, but Bill Cartwright, with no Bill Cartwright there, they wouldn't have been able to do what they did. This one I wasn't really up on, and I really didn't know much about him. But Bruce Bowen, and he played for the Spurs back to Tim Duncan, and he played with David Robinson, and they won how many championships? Well, three championships when he was there in '03, '05, and '07. And this guy played his role so much to the point where I didn't know who he was. The name sounds familiar, but he was no standout player to me. But apparently, he helped them to win three championships. Casey Jones, and he played with the Celtics back in the days of Bill Russell. Now, they won championships from '59 all the way to 1966. Him, Bill Russell, and whoever else it was, but he was a supporting cast because once again, you're not gonna get to shine over a Bill Russell. So he played his part, and they won one, two, three, four, five, six, nine championships together, nine rings together. So this dude, KC Jones, is sitting on nine championship rings, and I don't even know who he is. So then next, I'm gonna go to somebody that we're all familiar with, Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr played with Jordan, played with Pippen, and everybody remembered that shot that he took at the end of the game. He even made a joke about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we was over there in the huddle," and Mike was like, "You know what? I don't feel comfortable taking this shot. Let Steve take it." And then he was like, "Oh, here I go. I gotta bail Mike out again." It was real funny, little joke, man. But Steve Kerr was definitely a crucial role player in that Bulls team. And then you go on, you got guys like Ron Harper, you got Tony Kukoc, You got AC Green, and you know, even though he's had some rough couple of years, you can never deny the fact that Lamar Odom is one of the greatest role players that the Lakers had. Helped out Kobe a whole lot. Then we're gonna go to another Laker, Robert Ory. Robert Ory was a great role player. That whole Lakers dynasty that he came through with. Um, Robert Ory's name was pretty well known because he was a threat from the 3 point line. He would shoot your eyes out like Dale Curry or Steph Curry now. But these guys were the major role players back then, and these are the teams who went on to win multiple championships. Won to multiple championships because of these role players. And so let's fast forward today and see what type of role players we have playing in the playoffs right now. Well, right now we've been hearing a lot about Devin Booker. Devin Booker has been one of the top names that's been spoken of in these playoffs. And I would not go as far as to say that Devin Booker is the star of the team. Chris Paul, we know CP3 is on there. So that's your star. That's your leading guy. That's your veteran who can get the guys up and rally the guys and get them together. So for all intents and purposes, Devin Booker is a role player, and he's a great one at that. And pretty soon he will elevate to the title of star. But right now he's a role player because Chris Paul is that guy. Blake Griffin. Right now, Blake Griffin is playing like he's got a vigor for life. Like he's been refreshed with Brooklyn. And he's been a instrumental part in how they're just running through the playoffs right now. Yeah, they've had a couple of hiccups here and there, but the games that they've played have been fairly easy wins for them. And Blake Griffin was a crucial piece that they needed. Everybody said that they were overloaded, but Blake Griffin brought that crucial piece of role play that they needed. So those are two. One more. He's a Curry boy, Seth Curry. I already said it one time. Seth Curry is so underrated. I don't know if it's because of the team that he's on, with Embiid being overshadowed by Embiid and other guys. I don't know if it's because he's always being compared to his brother Steph Curry. And trying to live up to Steph Curry's accomplishments and achievements is a pretty hard thing to do, even if you're his twin. So Seth Curry is one of those guys who can come in and give you 20 and 30 points at any given time. And he can light you up from the three anytime he wants to because he is a Curry. And this is one of the best role players on that 76ers team that don't get the flowers that he deserves, but you're going to get him today from D-Mac. Another guy, this is a guy that TNT likes to pick on a lot. They have him on Shaq to the Fool a lot. But this guy is definitely one of the greatest role players in our era of basketball, and that's JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee has been on many teams, and JaVale McGee has helped many teams win championships. Coming in off the bench, giving that relief off the bench, mentoring those other big men, helping them out. JaVale McGee has always been a crucial piece to every team that he's played for. And the same with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, back in the day when he came out as Superman and he was with Orlando and all of that, that's when he was probably considered a superstar. But over the past years, I would say I won't say how many years, but over the past few years, he's been a role player. He's come in off the bench, and he's been that crucial piece that they need off of the bench to give their big man a rest. And now he's doing the same for Embiid in Detroit. So these are just some of the guys I came up with. I'm sure there's many more great role players out there, and some that I forgot to mention. I forgot to put Scottie Pippen on here, but that's a given. Everybody knows Scottie Pippen is one of the greatest role players of all the time. And if Michael Jordan wouldn't have been on the Bulls, I think Pippen, by his own rights, would have been considered a star. But he was overshadowed. He was always in Jordan's shadow, so that's a hard place to be. But yeah, that's just something I wanted everybody to think about today. These role players is what's going to win the championship. So keep a lookout for these role players, not so much the stars. This is your boy D Mac, and I'm out, man.